I'm here with John Hoffman from Tata Communications. John, Tata has been a leading innovator in Ethernet services. Can you update us on what you've been doing lately and why?
The last 6 to 9 months, we've been focusing on our network. We've rolled out a new technology across our network, 802.1ah, or provider backbone bridging. We're the first global provider to use provider backbone bridging on a global scale, and probably the first to roll it out to this extent. We have replaced our network with a core in PBB, or provider backbone bridging, and that's going to give us a lot of capabilities to offer new services, which we're really excited about, some of them being the low latency network, which we plan to offer by the end of the summer, or a burstability service that we're very excited about that should be coming out next year. We're also improved the quality of our network tremendously, and that's been a big boost because of the fact that we can do nodal diversity, etc. And then finally, using provider backbone bridging, we've been able to reduce our total cost of ownership, giving us a more competitive offer for years to come.
Can you tell us why you think carriers would benefit using Ethernet for their backbone?
Traditionally, carriers have been hesitant to use Ethernet because of quality. Ethernet did not have the quality that the carriers were used to. Recently, in the last 2 to 3 years, the quality of the Ethernet circuits has grown tremendously, and I think now we're at the stage where carriers could use Ethernet. Carriers would want to use Ethernet because of cash flow. Cash flow is very important, and when in a traditional network, carriers typically will take a multiple 10 gigs to create the network, but that's a large cash outlay initially. With Ethernet, carriers can then buy a very small pipe, build the network that they need, and pay for that network that is a much less expensive than what they would get with, say, layer 1 or 10 gigs. And then as their needs grow, that network can grow through non-service impacting upgrades. In addition, we use a much less expensive Ethernet port, which is much more flexible. And then finally, with 10 gig LAN PHY, carriers can go into to 10 gigs using LAN PHY, which is a less expensive port, and get 10 gig versus 9.5 versus layer 1.
Partnerships between carriers seem to be more important in the Ethernet market than in the layer 1 market. Why is this, and what does it take to succeed?
Well, in the layer 1 market, the products are very well defined, and E1 is the same anywhere in the world, and therefore it's very easy for one carrier to buy an E1 from another carrier and knowing that is the exact service on their network as it is on the other network. In Ethernet, that's not the case. There are no standardized services. Therefore, with Ethernet, you really need to partner very closely with somebody in order to marry your services, to understand their services and your services and where they line up. At Tata, we have a very, very well-defined partnership program. We not only work with marrying the services and understanding how they line up, but we also work with things like training, with things like marketing, and also finally giving the carrier more information through web portals on the performance, because ultimately our partner and our customer are reselling their services and our services to their customers. So it's very important for them to understand exactly what's going on with that service.
John, thanks very much.
Thank you.